You don't have to do anything. You have the Hanged Woman, the High Priest, and the Fool. Starting off with this Hanged Woman energy, I'm going to tune into the woman for the first time ever since having this deck for years. And I'm tuning into that because this pattern of having to look at things from a drastically different perspective, it is a pattern at this point. This is not just, oh, this is a one-time event. No, I feel like there's enough of us here are just like, this is not the first time I've had to experience letting go, releasing, or departure in this way. And we have recognized the ways that we have been asked to release, the ways we've been asked to let go, the ways that we've been asked to be open to receiving. It's that feminine energy there. Open to receiving. What's the pattern there? I feel that it's clear to you now. Because I'm sensing there's actually a lot of strength that is emanating from this card for this reading. It's a lot of strength that's here because it's strength in knowing. Strength in knowing. And what we could be doing here is also revising our relationship to, I guess, our intuitive. I'm phrasing it like this, like our intuitive moral compass. It's understanding it better, but then this could also be understanding the lesson, understanding the pattern, and how it is actually operating as a strength this time around, which is why I feel that a lot of us are comfortable with actually stepping back and not doing anything. Because if we are being asked to release in such drastic ways, there's also a story about access that has played into this. Losing access. This is going to read differently for a variety of people, but whatever that we felt we have been forced to lose access to, we may still be contending with a relationship to acquiring things, towards receiving things, towards give and take. For example, like if you experience losing access to your belongings due to like natural disasters, and especially if it happened on more than one occasion, we may have a very different relationship to food, to housing, okay, to money, how we save it, how we, like, those experiences have curated how we move forward. But now we're not moving forward because we're not letting that pattern or that experience take the reins anymore. So this is like an understanding that our loss of access to certain things, certain understanding, certain pathways, beliefs, it doesn't have to be scary. In fact, noticing the pattern is what it's allowing us to take a deep breath. It's like going deeper, allowing us to take a deeper breath, allowing us to receive more. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I think enough of us have come to a place to where we notice it is the releasing, the letting go, the losing access to something that has allowed us to gain access to something much deeper. And I'm hearing something that's intangible, something that you know cannot be taken away. And for some of you, it's just your story. It is the experience of going through those patterns multiple times, and you're taking a deep breath and allowing yourself to actually process this understanding, this new knowing, and pausing, taking that pit stop so that you can actually gather the appropriate tools, get the right pieces, recover for the right amount of time, so then you can get back on the road. But it's with a different vehicle. It's with a different mindset. It's with a different understanding of the rules. And it's with a different destination. So we are seeing the value in not doing anything. Now, not doing something is a choice. That is seen as an action. And that is really different for a lot of you, because to have the high priest following, this is like the energy of what has been in place, what has been set in stone. There's a reason there's an owl here. There's a lot of ancient wisdom that comes along with this. But it's also a card about consuming. So when we take an action of pulling back, we have no choice to see what is coming forward. For a lot of you, it was like when you were losing access to things, your relationship to consumption drastically changed. And if we were living, for example, if we were living from a place of lack and constantly wanting to help others and not really having a good balance between give and take, the story of consumption has to reveal itself. It has to reveal where it's been creating these energetic or these like financial hemorrhages for you. It has to reveal what people actually want from you, what organizations, what jobs, what pathways actually are asking of you. And again, this is where the strength from the Hanged Woman comes from. You are seeing, me pulling back is actually allowing me to receive more information. It's actually answering the questions that I've had for years. Why is this happening to me? Why is X, Y, and Z going down? Why was I born this way? Why? There's your answer. The answer is coming towards you. The answer is being reflected back to you. The answer, for some of us, we will realize is we can't actually change certain things the way that we tried by using force. This force is too strong simply because, and within this context here, simply because it has been so consumed by the masses. This is an energy that can translate the, okay, I'm hearing it like this because of the owl, translate the energies of the night, translate what feels to be invisible. That's why the high priest can resonate with like the Pope energy that you go through so much vocation, or even like the medical industry. It's like those positions of authority that required a lot of studying, a lot of discipline. So of course, when people that are related to the high priest or organization speak, it's easily consumed. But it's like we're taking a pause on trying to consume something here, simply because we know that making a different choice will breed a different outcome. It has to. But making that different choice is also you holding faith to that new decision you made. So what I feel like is happening here with these three cards is like there's a story around you experiencing what happens when you pull back your resources, when you pull back your accessibility, when you allow yourself to release a story of, I have to be available, I have to show up this way, I have to keep exhausting myself, I have to keep giving, and ignoring the part of me that's trying to learn how to receive. No, I'm actually going to put a pause on that because of where I am right now, circumstances, and I'm going to see what's actually coming at me. How can I essentially transform my experience to where I can be of service and you know what, here's the affirmation already, so that I can feel good showing up, so I can feel good serving others. Well, I have to pause and see what's not making me feel good. The high priest, I said, like related to like professions where there's a lot of discipline and time, like a doctor. This could be the energy of, it could be self-assessment for sure, but it could be self-assessment combined with a different health assessment. What am I actually experiencing? This could be talk therapy. We're allowing the conversation to be there. We're releasing the idea that having that talk about those sensitive matters, or even letting other people know that that pattern of loss or losing access is something that you've experienced or something that you still fear, letting that go and allowing yourself to be visible. And it feels much more private. Again, it's that energy of like processing things in the dark, that nocturnal energy here. And allowing ourselves to truly see what it is that we've been consuming, truly see the different ways that we are being environmentally consumed. Why are we still waiting for the water in this environment? Does it feel like we've been going through a drought? I mean, this environment can sustain itself, but it's like, if you're flipped upside down in it, maybe it's because you're ready to be more receptive. You're ready to experience more of an alternative element that this world has to offer. It's like the air and the fire of this of this region. Yes, you know what you're passionate about. You know what stories incentivize you. You know what stories have been awakened within you. You know the mental chatter, the conversations, the stories, you're aware of that, but now it's time to start grounding this more through assessment, through paying attention to what, again, the give and take of consumption, and then holding to the action that you're taking, being the person who is receiving therapy, allowing yourself to be the person who experiences that, being the person who was used, being the person who was manipulated, allowing yourself to sit in those feelings, those sensations, and to assess it with less shame, with no shame, or just removing the guilt around it, deconstructing an old belief. There's a lot of success that comes from it, from the Fool, because the Fool can be the energy of like relief, like starting over, finding that right affirmation, understanding what it's like to feel good when you're called to action. Because a lot of us, we want to be of service, but then we become super exhausted. We don't spend enough time receiving until we're forced to. It has not felt good to be consumed by the environment. It has not felt good to consume certain things, to maybe keep trying to show up for the environment. So a lot of us are looking at our diets, okay? Our tangible diets, our financial, our physical diets, okay? We're looking at our mental diets. We're looking at our spiritual diets. We are understanding the importance of taking a pause, however many times you need to reassess, to ground yourself, and to allow yourself to choose what actually makes sense for you where you are right now. Understanding that what you choose is the door closing and opening at the same time. Understanding that what you are letting go of doesn't always have to be negative. You don't have to hang on and grapple every single thing. You can let go of that. It's interesting about these two angels behind this high priest is that if you're consulting with another person, if this is not just you going within and allowing yourself to be seen by you, if you're consulting with another person, they likely resonate with your story. If you have the opportunity to be more selective about who you can engage with, especially when it comes to our health professionals, there's nothing wrong with you choosing who you feel most comfortable with. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, some of you, what this is it's not even choosing a healthcare professional. For some of you, it's letting go of certain relationships. Maybe you no longer want to be attending this GP, this family doctor anymore. Maybe you want to choose your own. Maybe you don't want to undergo certain practices anymore. You want to connect with someone who is more open to what you have to say, or integrates more homeopathic remedies, or uses different types of alternative medications combined with what's known. There's something about needing more of a hybrid experience that for some of you, this high priest does not offer. They've been so ingrained in what is that I think some of you are going to be able to make a decision based off of whatever kind of relationship this is, work, friendships, family. They've been so ingrained in whatever this pathway is that you understand that you pushing forward doesn't make a change. The pattern is there. So to have the high priest following the hanged woman energies is you allowing them to be. That's the stopping. That's the releasing. You allowing yourself to be. And for a lot of you, that's to be seen and heard. For others of you, you're just allowing others to show up as they are. And it's easier to do that when you have made a decision. That's honestly what manifesting is for those of you interested. It's making a decision and sticking to it, no matter what the external is showing. And I've talked about, how feeling is important. Saying, I feel good being of service, it's just a choice. It's just an option. You don't have to actually grapple those feelings now, especially where you're not used to that. Your body may not be used to that. So trying to force yourself to be a millionaire, trying to force yourself to be someone who's already healthy, this is about incrementally allowing yourself to connect to a new decision, a new path, a new statement for enough of you that actually resonates with the pause you're undergoing, that actually allows the reason why you may need to pause to show itself. So once you decide, you know what, I'm improving my health from here on out, because saying I'm healthy, our brain is going to counter that. The ego is going to be like, what about X, Y, and Z? But I'm improving my health is believable. And when you make that decision, you will see how the environment either does or doesn't consume that as a belief or an action plan that they agree with for you. And there's nothing wrong with others saying that they would suggest something else for you, but you know what it's like to not feel heard. You know what it's like for people to dismiss you. And you know what it's like for them to do it from a place of convenience, or I don't want to have to think beyond. That is why I think enough of you are here in this place where it's like, I just want to feel comfortable deciding, which is you also feeling good, being of service to yourself. I want to feel comfortable pausing. I want to feel comfortable in the unknown. I want to feel comfortable stopping. I want to feel comfortable resting. I want to feel comfortable. I feel good receiving. That's what I'm doing. And if you experience things where it doesn't feel good to receive, I have a choice. I can choose to remain faithful to what I said, or I can let the external decide and consume me all over again. You know what to do for yourself. You know what's best for yourself. Those are also affirmations. And let me reiterate, you don't have to know exactly how to feel totally confident in that new belief. It's just a matter of making sure that you believe that when you make a decision, that you can stick to it. That's why doing things incrementally makes sense. If you want to change your diet, some of you might want to go cold turkey. If you can do it, kudos to you. But enough of us need to slowly whittle down what's going on. We need to stop and assess. Maybe we need to clear out our refrigerator and our cabinets and then really sit and decide. Based off of what I said, to improve my health, there are certain stories I have about certain ingredients, snacks, things in my pantry and my refrigerator. See, from that place of deciding I am making health improvements, be the person, take that action. Cleaning out your fridge or the pantry is a small thing. Look at the small action. That's what adds up. That's what snowballs later. And then whenever a bigger decision comes up, you'll know what it feels like to have chosen yourself by way of choosing an action plan, choosing a path. And you also know that there will be obstacles or challenges that come up for you and to help you decide if you're going to stick to it or evolve it. Stick to it or regress. And if the old habit wins, take it easy. That's the point. Take it easy. Pause, pull back, reassess, reground yourself. You have the wisdom within you. You have the key within you. And when you remember that, that'll come out through other people's speech. That'll come out through the content that you're, creating, that's coming up. Some people don't believe the algorithm has anything to do with it, but I'm like, you can still think thoughts in your head and not say it out loud, not type it up, and it can still work for you. I want you to have, my intention, my selfish request is I want you to have an experience where you make a decision and you find the little ways to exercise that on a daily basis. Okay? I call it giving yourself 1% each more every day, because change is always happening, but I want you to participate in it. I want you to find the little ways that you can show up for yourself so that when you are asked from that same theme to make a big decision, you're so used to being with yourself, holding down to yourself, grounding yourself, that you can decide what's best for you in that moment, even if it's, I don't have a decision right now. This is all about choosing you. And I do feel that a lot of you are going to experience a lot of relief. I talked about maybe with the health, clearing things out. The Fool is very lighthearted. This is the excitement, the feeling good about deciding, the feeling good about choosing, I'm going to improve my health, I'm going to improve my financial status. It's feeling good around making a choice. That's really what best day it's supposed to be. Feeling confident, feeling good, or feeling like there's at least nothing in the way of you making a decision and you knowing it's going to happen. Because like I said, you don't have to feel it, but it's about getting out of the way. But a lot of narratives come with a variety of feelings. So when we get more connected, more grounded, when we experience the sensations in our body, especially that come from taking a pause, taking a rest, this being faithful to whatever you decide is going to be so easy. And this is coming from experience, years of putting this into practice, okay? There's so many people who are teaching this now, myself included, and this is all about us walking together, trying to figure out how to be more comfortable in our own bodies so that we can be comfortable in the reality that reflects back to us. At any point, you can decide you want something different. You don't have to undergo a bunch of change. You don't have to buy a bunch of courses. You don't have to do any of that. You can just decide. And when something gets in the way, allow yourself to be with it. And don't be afraid of what comes at you, what tries to consume you. Don't be afraid. It is the fear that has kept us back. It is the fear that has made receiving, taking a pause seem like such a threat. That's the illusion. And I'm sure you see it now. If not, you will. Okay? So this has been a longer reading than as of late, but I intend that, you felt seen and heard, and I intend that you feel confident making a new decision today. And again, it doesn't have to be big, but it will absolutely feel big, likely down the line, or it will feel like there's something big going on or growing within you. And I don't want you to be afraid of that, okay? So I'm blessed to be able to be a messenger. I'm really happy to see that, you're investing into yourself and you're still showing up. And you're here because you know you can do the work. You know there's a different side to things. You just know it. And I like to see that you're open to exploring that, that you're open to getting out of your way, that you're open to releasing and learning how to receive more, and then ultimately how to feel confident or how to feel good in receiving, especially when you know you want something. When that desire is there, it's there for a reason, and I want you to be curious about why. So I intend that this was also empowering. I want you to feel like you are the master of your life and of your reality. And I intend that you do your best to keep the faith with whatever it is that you decide, okay? Even if you're just deciding to change your mind, I want you to feel confident in that. And that's what I try to cultivate in these spaces, in these videos that I create. So thank you so much for allowing me to be a messenger. I love doing readings. I love showing up for you, and I love you very much. So my name is Maya, and if you'd like a personal reading from me, the description is in the bio. And I don't know. I'm excited for you. This is really good. I mean, it has to be. So until next time.